Ons is in Mali. Nogmaals is ons opgewonnen niet. Want die is onze goede aan wat hulle het. Sing jij, ons is opgewonnen niet. Ons kiet die orde. Nou broers, jullie witten. Dus jullie witten. Na Nabu, hij wil een grond geheerd. Hij was een ander man zijn grond. Aan die Book of Kings. Nou hij heeft van hij man gezegd, kijk die Aya, ik zoek een grond van jou. Ik zei hij man voor hem, kijk die, ik kan niet die grond bij jou geven, because die grond van mij is mijn heritage. Zo ik kan niet mijn heritage verkopen aan jou niet. Ik zei de king voor hem, kijk die, ik maak je jou 2 keer. Dat kwam die jouw grond. Ik zei hij man, kijk die hij, Ado maak je ook jou 10 keer. Ik kan niet mijn erfgenaam aan jou verkopen. Toen was hij hartzeer, in die koning. Hij was een koning. Dus hij hartzeer, want die man wil die man zijn grond aan hem verkopen. Ja, zo aan de orde gaat hij huis naar zijn paleis toe. En hij gaat zitten naar zijn paleis toe. Zo komt het zo dat zijn vrouw Jezebel zei voor hem. Moet niet waar, nee, ik heb een plan, maar toch gaan maken met hem. So they murdered the man for his land. They murdered the man for his land. And when they have, and the next day, the woman tell him, go and take the land because that one, we kill him. So they go and steal and take that man's land. Just like today, what happened now here.
King Rastafari.
So this thing it can't be a blessing for them to claim the land still. Never mind the gunpowers they have or the nuclear weapons they have. They can't stop the Lord. So now we are the inheritors of this land. And we will gain this land by an order. Not by bloodshed, but by they must give up. Otherwise the sun gonna burn them all up. Now, brother, that is my message for this parliament. Now we will go to the order. Spirituality must order. Now we go to the physical, my brethren.
Selassie, King Rastafari. Kirimawe, Haile. Selassie, King Rastafari.
Majesty, Haile.
Selassie, King Rastafari.
Press wise Roman and Haile.
Selassie, King Rastafari.
One and all, my brothers and sisters, my elders, my ancient patriarch and my ancient matriarch in the faith, to the future, to the youth, to all communities.
Yes.
The first of Adwa is a very important event in Ainai history.
1, 2.
The 1st of March, Battle of Adwa, Victory Parade, 30 years journey. African victory of over European army and inspiration to Ainai as Rastafari. Fighting Ainai own struggle against colonialism, against apartheid. Remember Ainai speech of His Majesty in a League of Nations, which was translated into a song by Honorable Prophet Bob Marley. Until the ignoble and unhappy regime of apartheid that hold our brothers in subhuman bondage in Mozambique, in Angola, in South Africa. Haile
Selassie, King Rastafari.
His Majesty spoke directly to I with that speech, and many more speeches, saying this apartheid, when it is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned until such day, the war shall continue. And this battle is still continuing. When Jah Rastafari, Kirimawe Haile Selassie I, the Lion of Judah, is on Ainai's side, who can be against Ainai? Jah has never failed Ainai yet. And I know that as Rastafari community, as Rastafari nation, we've been fighting this battle, which has been the struggle for recognition. From the early 90s, we asked them the simplest thing: accept I as who I have been. Accept I who have been, I has been become. Remember, in the early 90s, over 40 Rastas were arrested. We've been fighting a battle for legalization, legalize it or decriminalize it. I remember that day after the raid in Marcus Garvey, when police brutalized people for their help. And also in many of our backyards in our communities, when police raided our backyards, took ganja, take INI, arrested and INI. The Battle of Adwa became significant and synonymous with INI battle for the liberation of the Ham. And I remember in 2010, Elder Champion, when that a raid happened in Marcus Garvey and the police killed an innocent man. It was during the raid for the ganja. And I remember marching with children of the creek coming right here so. And we know that that inquest, including the inquest of INI Elder D. Brains in Wellington, the story has still yet to be told. Yes, sir. What has happened? We're still fighting those battles up until today. 30 years of democracy. What has been the gains? As we march up, there was a big building on the left or on our right. Maybe some of you saw it. It's called the Constitutional House. In 1994, when the country was drafting the first constitution, I and I, as the Rastafari community, we made contribution. In that constitutional house, on the upper room, when I went to put the submission to the constitution, there was a big artworks made out of a ganja leaf. And Rastas were enlightening the nation about the importance of the basic human rights, of which His Majesty was the author, from the League of Nations to the United Nations. It is these rights that are enshrined in our Constitution, that from that time to this time, I are fighting to enjoy. In 2012 to 2014, Aina has been recognized. No, the CRL Commission came up with 44 recommendations on challenges faced by Rastafari in South Africa. In 30 years of democracy, Rastafari has been recognized as one of the 7 religions in South Africa. We know the battle that one of our fellow brethren, Prince Garrett, from his first case, which is known as Prince Case 1 and Prince Case 2. We know that on the 18th of August, 2018, the highest court in the land, the Constitutional Court, did make a ruling that all ganja arrests and judgments by the government were unconstitutional. As they were using the Roman Dutch laws and were given 2 years to rectify that.
Selassie, King Rastafari.
Aina is free to utilize the ganja, to plant it, and to burn it as our sacrament.
Only the truth and nothing but the truth. You must listen carefully.
In 2019, the Department of Correctional Services and the Legal Department, they come up with cannabis bill. Rastafari made submissions. As a result of that, Rasta were about to be exempted because the 4 trees that were offering were not enough for I9. And I9 was not using ganja like the rest of the people. So we had a challenge of exemption versus total liberation. And this is our challenge up to this day. The government come with Pakisa. You know what Pakisa means? Means hurry up. Shesha. Yes, we have 2 of our people, Prince Gareth and Dr. Tandeka, who are sitting on the steering committee dealing with the matter of IKS. And this is where now we are addressing the government. To Mr. Solomon, who is around to receive our memoranda. This is just an extension of our statement that for 9 times we've been coming to these gates. Now we are sitting on the government steering committee where we are influencing the policies. We are saying, let us be civil. Let us allow Rastafari this opportunity that we are being denied. That those who were against marijuana use are now in the forefront to benefit from the economic opportunity that ganja can bring. What about our people? What about Cape Town? Went to court. We demand reparation. And even to this Western Cape government. Rastafari contribution to the city, we need to be recognized as an equal citizens of this Cape Town city. We need economic opportunities. We need land opportunities. We've got a lot of people occupying lands that don't belong to them. Some of them they paid for R1 up to generations. Here's a memorandum. Within these 10 minutes, I just want to sum it up. The Battle of Adwa signifies the triumph of right over mighty and African victory over colonial and imperialistic mindset aimed at separating and alienating Africans from African culture and tradition. Rastafari in this time faced the same colonialist and imperial mindset in relation to our culture, tradition, including indigenous knowledge system, but sadly, this is coming from our own liberation government. Rastafari has embraced the constitutional ideal, and we have engaged our government in a dignified and constitutional manner. But instead, our government reciprocating, we have been treated appallingly by all spheres of the government. Our non-violent engagement was met with deadly violence, incarceration, arrest, and detention. We have submitted memorandums for the past 8 years, but we have not received one meaningful reply. Nor has government invited us to deliberate seriously about the issues that is near and dear to us. It took a constitutional challenge to get the government to do something positive for the cannabis community. What a shame. What a shame. We are now entering the 6th year since the Constitutional Court judgment, and we are nowhere close to accepting the cannabis community as legal and legitimate in South Africa. Here's our demand: an immediate moratorium on arrest for current cannabis offenses. We've given the government nearly 6 years to remedy a drastic situation, but the drastic nature of our situation has only increased. SAPS statistics reveal that close to 1 million people have been arrested since the Western Cape High Court decision, and much of those arrests, 7 out of 10 have been for simple possession and not dealing. This is racial and cultural profiling, which is patently unjustifiable. The victims of the arrest continue to be young black and brown males, which not only kill the future of these youths, but places an inordinate strain on our correctional services capacity to fulfill their constitutional mandate. The judge inspector in his last report indicated that the correctional service facilities are places of trauma instead of rehabilitation. These arrests have been decreed by politicians all over the world, yet our government continues to destroy the lives and predominantly African youth. Affirmative green action. We are saying our constitution in section 9.2 mandates the creation of restitutionary measures to redress inequality. We urgently need the creation of such a restitutional measures to protect the industry that was built by indigenous blood, sweat, and tears. Right now, those who never fought for the industry are in the pole position to eat and benefit offered by the cannabis, which is fundamentally unjust. The lack of restitutional measures for the previously disadvantaged is a talk of a mistake made by other legislatures. We cannot make the same mistake because Section 39 of our Constitution obliges the IKS sandbox is an appropriate starting point, and justification is simply that the interest of justice require it. Instead of insisting on repairing for the Rastafari community, we have proposed